Here we go, guys. Another Sunday, another show. You're listening to the Social Contact Club radio show live, at least on YouTube for now, from the Social Contact Club, the Religion of Freedom Temple, here in Kingman, Arizona. We are located 3001 Stockton Hill Road, Kingman, Arizona. Now, my name is Luca Zanna. You've been knowing me in the past, at least for the last, 7 years, I guess, when I've been on K Talks, talking about love, guns, and freedom. Yes, my show used to be called Love, Guns, and Freedom. I've been taking, as you know, a couple years off. It was a kind of a hard decision because the show was really kind of a part of my daily life. But the problem that was my daily life was getting busier and busier, and I wanted to travel. I wanted to go to do things I had to do, also for my commitment to my businesses and my family. So I took a little time off, but now I felt the need to come back. And the reason why I already told you last week, these are very perilous times, not just for, of course, the world, but especially for me, America. I'm an American, and I'm very concerned about not just the future. I'm concerned about the present. In my opinion, we are living kind of in a very, I don't know what, the darkest time of this republic. And that's why I'm here. I may be a small little voice, maybe in Mojave County, that's fine. Of course, you can hear me on the internet, that's fine. But if I can wake up, or at least I can share this information, even just with another person out there, I am this is my duty. I think I have to do this. That's what I can do now. I'm freaking out. Sorry. Not really in a bad way, but I need to have the urge to try to at least do my part. And that's why I also invite you. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a radio host. I don't care if you're just a regular man, coming back home at night at dinner. Talk, express yourself, share your opinion. Don't be afraid. They try to silence us. We're living like almost in 1984, technocratic fascism. This is a really new type of fascism that we are facing as a humanity and as Americans. So I'm here to do my part. Now, this show is going to be a little different. I don't have any more 3 hours like I used to have. So my goal is going to be the first few minutes, at least the first 10 minutes, we will go through my humble opinions on facts. It maybe probably my opinions are mostly based by facts. And if I'm wrong, if you think I'm wrong, you know what? You're more than welcome to disagree with me, even challenge me. I really like that. I like to be wrong, honestly. I wish I were wrong on everything I'm saying because I will feel much happier at night. I go to sleep and I don't have nightmares. Unfortunately, I know that I have a lot of things that I'm right. Like I know very well that we are facing right now a very serious constitutional crisis. We have a man acting as a president. Honestly, he's acting like a puppet. But the point is, this man right now, and I'm speaking for myself, by the way, everything I say doesn't reflect the opinions of my guest, just to be sure. I have a great guest coming in a few minutes. And as I said, I don't want anybody to feel like, oh my God, I disagree. This is just my opinion. I truly believe that we have a traitor in power right now. This man is being elected with a complete coup d'etat, or whatever you want to call it. This is kind of an act of treason. And this election has been a fraud. Let's spell it out in English, okay? And this man now is destroying, minute by minute, hour by hour, everything is left of this republic. And this is not an opinion either. You can be Democrat, you can be liberal, whatever you want to call yourself. Let's look at facts before even we go into social issue or whatever. If you believe in socialism, let's put it this way. If you are kind of a parasitic individuals that you want to use the government to steal from A and give it to B, even there, you have some things that we should agree. How is possible that you're still going to get along with the plan that we are paying for the same dirty gas that you think is so bad, almost the double since this man 2 months ago got in power, or at least stole the election. Let's tell it out. So this is something supposed to be, especially for the common blue collar, something to be concerned because like you're working, you're going by horse, so you have some sort of a special magic car. You're still driving the same dirty car with the same dirty oil. The only difference now that you have to work twice. And maybe you have to make some very hard choices for you and your family. I mean, I don't care if you're a communist, a socialist, you still need to work. You still need to eat. You need to pay rent, I guess. Okay? So this is the first problem that I have. Basic things. I mean, in 8 hours, this man, he destroyed 80,000 jobs. Okay? These jobs are gone. Meanwhile, the same dirty oil that we all were using for great benefits is gone to China. Meanwhile, the borders that we work so hard to try to have some sort of a containment, they've been wide open. Just these basic facts. I mean, if you're a worker, a union worker, or anything like that, you should be concerned now to have your wages being destroyed by a flux of uncontrolled, we don't even know who they are. And I'm an immigrant, by the way. I'm a former immigrant, so I don't think I'm some sort of a KKK guy, that hates, immigrants. I am for all legal immigrations, and I believe that this is an insult to all of us, to all Americans, and especially people like me. Like I have my brother, for example. I don't want to mention his name, poor guy, because he's freaking out now. His name is Marco Zanna, by the way. I'm kidding. And hard to, but the point is, this man, I mean, like many others immigrants like me from Europe, is being paying lawyers and visas after visas and renewal and paying taxes, and you have no idea how much drama every year, and that's fine. These are the rules. We go for the rules, but the point is, everybody should have the same rules. Now we have two species: the chosen one, and then the rest of us that we have to pay for everyone. And talking about racism, I mean, think about it. We had a, you know, I look at this country from a foreign I mean, foreign. I'm not a foreign anymore, but I was born in Italy, so I have a lot of things I was looking for really neutral eyes, and I realized that first of all, the world has been racist since the creation of humanity. There always been hate between humanity, between races, between, let's say, villages. There's always been something that never was perfect. But this country at least tried in its foundation to put it in writing that all humans were created equals. Now, this racism stuff supposed to be gone. I mean, I look at America just 20 years ago when I came. Honestly, I never felt racism. I mean, I felt even in very strange part of town, things that were pretty good. Now, the last 8 years with Obama, racism went back up to levels that never can believe it. And of course, this has been all instrumentalized to divide and conquer. And now look at the latest bill from this treasonous Congress. That, by the way, they are completing us, spoiling us, like not spoiling us, excuse me, the spoils. They are completing. Uh, the barbarians used to come to your town and loot, and that's what they loot. They're looting our money, our future. They created now this new, they call it, how do you want to call this stuff? They call it when they try to give you money for to try to sustain the economy. I'm so sorry, Mike. How do you call this? When they try to give you this money to how do you say that? I forgot. Come on, help me out. They call it now under this emergency. We need to give you this money for stimulus. I hate the word. Sounds like a sexual harassment word. Okay, but anyway, stimulus what? Stimulus what? They've been robbing us of trillions of dollars, and then they give you peanuts on that. We got what, $600? Meanwhile, they gave $20,000 for citizen, for each citizen, for the citizen of Ghana or some other country out there. Israel got more money than 10 times that we got. Okay, so my point is this is an act of treason. And I want to leave it like that for now. My point is, what do we do? Because at this point, we have a bunch of crazy people locked down with a fence. By the way, they put a fence around themselves. I think it's a great idea, by the way, because if we look at the positive side of the angle, Julius Caesar, when he went to Gauls, he put a fence too around the castle of the Gauls. So maybe now we got him. We got them all there. All we had to do, put a lock on it and say, okay, you stay there. Don't, we turn off the internet. You can yell and scream and talk and whatever we want. We keep going. So I don't know. All I know, these things are very serious times. So another important thing, something really, I couldn't believe it till I saw it with my own eyes. There was in the stimulus bill, the latest one, these kind of waiving these loans for black farmers. Not only they was there to pay nothing, they had 120% back. That means they also made a profit. This is worse than communism. This is also communism with racism. I got what? If you're a white man now, you have to die, you have to pay everything back. And what is the difference? This is the only difference they're doing now. They are creating truly racism and resentment. And it's very sad because, this is not supposed not to happen in 2021 in a nation like America. So now we are here. I try to bring solutions. I try to bring positive things. At the same time, the first thing to find the solution, you must acknowledge that you have a problem. That's all I can say. In my opinion, right now, we are living under tyranny. The republic at this moment is being suspended because we have a system, the election system, that is being completely neutralized. This machine, whatever they want to call it, is proven now. We have enough evidence there was all a fraud. Unfortunately, the cancer is within the system. The check and balance of the different agencies or whatever is being too much compromised. Trump, even in his own imperfections, he tried to warn us. And more important, at least one thing he did is expose that there is a real problem. Now, he could have not solved everything by himself. If you can put all the attorney generals you want, if everyone backstab you every time you put them on, he cannot do also the executioner. He's just executive. So we need more people involved. All I can say now, we live in Mojave County, Arizona, and it's a great place to live. I think we have a great chance to keep at least alive this spirit of freedom. And that's why we have here the Social Contact Club. That's why we're here. Great people. They bring every Sunday. And by the way, we'll be here also live every Friday on our channel, YouTube. You can go to www.socialcontactclub.com, and that way you can see us live on YouTube. And of course, the show is going to be replayed on Sunday. I want to bring you every time great guests. Guests are going to give you solutions to improve your life. Does it mean just politically? Because political, of course, is very important. Political for me is not just an abstract concept. It means how you're going to eat today, how you're going to preserve your property, your rights, and everything, and the future of your children. That's for me what means politics. It's not just, oh, I'm going to have a kind of a political affair, but also how to improve your life as a human being. 3 years ago, I stumbled on something that I think is one of the most powerful tool for humanity, and I had no idea. When I used to listen about, watch movies about hypnosis, that's the topic of today, I thought about something very mysterious, maybe, kind of a show at the carnival or at some sort of the county fair, it's entertainment, I thought. And then there is the other side, when you look at this movie like, The Manchurian Candidate, pretty much what I think Mr. Biden is, in my opinion. I don't think it's human. I think it's under a drone, but that's my opinion, of course. By the way, if I was saying these things in Italy, 5 years in jail to offend the Italian president. And yes, I really offend you, Mr. Biden. I don't even call you president because for me, you're not my president. This is just my humble opinion. But anyway, regardless, what I'm talking about now is something beyond this. How you can gain back your best potential of a human being. Hypnosis, 3 years ago, I had the opportunity to stumble on it and experience on myself just as, self-hypnosis. I was just buying little tape, in this case, MP3, to try to improve some of my, let's say, goals that I have, some of my physical and mental skills. Because I was studying at the time, and I'm still studying, by the way, as a self-defense instructor in Krav Maga. I had to go to Israel to prepare for my curriculum test, and I had a lot of information to metabolize, to try to, really make up my muscle memory. And my, master instructor in Israel said, listen, Luca, you're pretty fast in learning, but the curriculum that you're going to go through when you come here normally takes years. Good luck, because we're not going to give you any break. You come here, you got 2 weeks, you better show everything we have to do. I said, I accept the challenge. Anyway, bottom line, every morning at 4 o'clock, I was waking up, getting my little MP3 going, different type of aspect of what I wanted to improve me as my human skills. And I saw in a few days, immediately, some great improvements. And I was so impressed. I said, I want to study this. This is beyond. This is the most important thing. After all, the mind, especially the subconscious mind, controls the rest. So anyway, here we go. I'm a humble professional learner. I call myself a professional learner because I'm always learning. I'm trying to study everything I can in hypnotherapy. I'm a certified board member of hypnotherapy, but more important, I'm here. And I found a man in Kingma that I couldn't believe that is a real deal when it comes to hypnotherapy. I mean, I'm just an humble hypnotherapist, part of the board, but I'm not doctor. I don't have any special degree or years in a university. This man not only has some years on his back as an experienced human being, he's also a former Marine, he's a patriot, but also is a man that he has the degrees and the skills in a scientific way to really make a point when it comes down to hypnosis, how can benefit humanity. And also we have an incredible event coming, the first Saturday of April, here in Kingman, Arizona, at the Social Contact Club. And I want to be sure you're here, guys, because this is beautiful. I mean, normally people have to go to Los Angeles, Las Vegas, maybe, I don't know, New York, for things like that. Mojave County, in the middle of nowhere, and we have a top-notch hypnosis master PhD. And his name, I would like to know some, yeah, you know what, Mike, you play the drums. I almost wish you do the drum roll, okay? Anyway, that was Mike. By the way, Mike is going to be my next guest at my next show. He's a great guy. I found a lot of great people in this club. Anyway, let me start again, or let me continue. Dr. Robert Dean, PhD. Doctor, are you there?
I am.
Good. How did I introduce you well enough?
Everything's going great. I enjoyed your discussion, incidentally. And, I was just thinking about uh, all the Republicans that are stressed out right now. We could really help them be calm and relaxed with some good stress relief hypnotherapy.
Good. I need it, by the way. I need it.
Yeah. Well,
Or,
do you have some questions there for me? I'd be happy to answer them
yes, first
or
of all,
discuss this.
before even we go to the questions,
Yeah.
I like to know you. I know you a little bit because I read about you.
Yeah.
I start to know. I had the pleasure and the honor to
Hmm.
meeting you. You invited me to your humble, no humble. It's a beautiful, by the way, foundation place that you have, and I really feel privileged about that. But I like to the listeners to know you a little bit about your background as a human being, as an American, and also as a soldier. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, basically, I'm just a regular guy. I've got 9 grandchildren. I've been married for 37 years. I'm a pretty happy guy. I'm in great health, and because I walk the talk. All right. I have been providing hypnotherapy and been in practice for over 31 years. I built an organization called New Life Clinics Charitable Trust. It's a nonprofit 501c3, subsection 509A2 of the IRS Code, tax deductible, tax exempt organization. And we've used that organization to provide free hypnotherapy nationwide. We've operated in 28 different states with Attorney General's permissions, and we have treated over 1.5 million people using hypnotherapy to relieve specific disorders for which hypnosis is the choice of therapies,
Wow.
such as stress relief, smoking cessation, weight reduction, self-esteem, and these sort of things, where it's really good for modifying human behavior for self-improvement. And that we've been doing for, like I said, I've been at it for 31 years. The trust we set up 27 years ago to do this work. And I had a battery of really good board certified hypnotherapists that we had contracted to go out and do the work in these different states. And the end result, we've been endorsed by over 80 major organizations nationwide, ranging from the California Highway Patrol to the New York Nurses Association, the Chicago Teachers Union, the entire state of Arkansas, city and county of San Francisco, Fresno, San Diego, Oakland, Alameda County, Redding, Denver. We've done numerous police and sheriff's departments. We've done the Mojave County Sheriff's Department about 3 years ago.
Wow.
54 deputies came in to be hypnotized because they have a height weight requirement. Most departments do. And if they are out of that particular requirement, they can lose their badge. So there are some guys, a lot of them, in fact, I think they were eating too many donuts.
Wow.
Anyway, we took the weight off and got them down to the required amount they could weigh, and got rid of the stress. And a lot of the unsworn personnel, the ladies that work there, they came in as well. They loved it. Uh, the weight loss we do typically reduces 2 to 3 clothing sizes within 6 weeks. That's the first 6 weeks.
Wow.
The weight keeps coming off after that until you like what you see while standing in the nude in privacy in front of a mirror, and you like what you see. We don't care what you weigh, we care about what you look like. We found that really works best for most people.
I like it. This is really great. I mean, that's why I'm saying this. But I don't believe in accent, by the way. I don't believe in accent because when I opened this club, the idea that I was envisioning wasn't an accident. I could have rented this place. I like the vision I had, and when I started to meet here great, incredible people, and of course, there was always like a little listening. There is a voice out there. Somebody drop a name, and 2 weeks ago, I want to make it short. A gentleman come here, ask some questions about the club. That's fine, great, and then he mentioned your name.
Mhm.
And then out of the blue, about 2 weeks later, I got a phone call, and it was you.
Mhm.
And it was interesting because he was calling me about a completely different topic, technical issue topic about internet. And I said, wow, it's him. And of course, I'm kind of a nerd, thirsty for learn. And when I said, wow, the man that I would like to learn from, it's here. Oh gosh, I do everything. And here now he is. And I'm so glad I have the chance, the opportunity to share your talent, your skills to improve the lives of many people in Mojave County for free. I mean, this is like normally, I'm just curious. I think I know, but I want to be sure. Normally, how much your foundation charge? Because I know you technically you don't even
Mhm.
get paid.
Mhm.
How much you charge for a consultation or for at least a session with you?
A consultation is free. We
Yeah,
never charge for those.
yeah, yeah. But
And
for the session,
yeah, for the session itself, if it's done in a group setting, there's no
Mhm.
charge.
Okay.
We have treated people in settings. My record is 485 people in the city of our state of Arkansas. Um, we treated all those people. The governor contacted the union of the state of Arkansas and asked us if we'd go in and treat all of the state employees.
Mm-hmm.
They have 31,000 employees. We treated tens of thousands of them, and it worked out very well for them. And they've had us back 3 times. But I'm getting kind of off kilter here. What you was talking about a hypnotherapist, I wanted to cover that with your listeners just for a minute.
Yes.
There is hypnotists. A hypnotist is a person who has the skill to be able to hypnotize another person. I would consider these people like entertainers in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
They're not therapists. They can't even spell psychology. Okay. Let's just put it that way. They're very good at entertaining people and using hypnotism as a modem to cause people to act out in behavior that's rather, well, nutty and so
Mhm.
forth. And you're probably wondering why people do that. How can you get people up on stage to quack like a duck or
Mhm.
make love to a metal folding chair in front of a 200 audience in a Las Vegas hotel? It's very simple. The people who will go up on the stage represent about 5% of the population. They are classified as what's called natural exhibitionists. You remember going back into the 60s and 70s, you saw the streaker had run across the football field in the nude. That was and is a natural exhibitionist. These are the people that like to exhibit themselves to be noticed.
Mhm.
So therefore, they go up on the stage to have a good time. Now, are they hypnotized? You bet they are, but they want to be. And then afterwards, they can say, well, I didn't do it. He made me do it, the hypnotist. And they can put on some funny shows. What a board certified hypnotherapist does, they don't entertain anybody. They work at the subconscious level of the human mind. Now, when you go beyond that, like me, I have a doctorate in or PhD in
Mhm.
clinical hypnotherapy. I'm a doctor of clinical hypnotherapy. That's about a 12-year degree with 2 years of internship, about equivalent to a licensed psychologist or medical
Wow.
doctor. And then after that, I've got many years of experience in. I've written many things about hypnosis, and I've done many shows and newspaper articles, and I've been interviewed all over the United States. I'm well and favorably know what I do. And consequently, being on your show is a pleasure to educate the public to where when they get involved, or if they get involved with hypnosis, they're going to find it a wonderful therapy if it's done properly by the therapist. The key to good hypnotherapy is finding a hypnotherapist who really knows what he or she is doing. Check for credentials.
Mhm.
Don't talk to anybody unless they've been doing it for 5 years.
Mhm.
I want a person that's got at least a master's in
Mhm.
psychology. I want a person that's got at least 5 years as a hypnotherapist. I want at least 5 or 6 references, and they have to specialize in the particular problem I have for which we're going to use hypnosis to get rid of.
Mhm.
If they'll do that, I would go in and see them. What will you pay for that? Typically anywhere from $150 to $300 for a 50-minute session.
Wow.
And they may want you to come in for several sessions, so hold
Mhm.
on to your wallet.
Mhm.
The truth is this: you can be hypnotized once, okay? 16 out of every 100 people who are hypnotized only need one session and they're a done deal, say for
Mhm.
smoking cessation or so forth. The remainder will lapse within 5 to 7 days, and they find themselves down at 7-Eleven buying a pack of cigarettes and wondering why. What happens is you dreamed out the hypnotic programming. And since most people don't remember their dreams, they're not aware they did that. All they know is, gee, it worked great for 4 or 5 days and I'm smoking again. What happened? What happened is they dreamed it out. Now, to prevent that, Dr. Kappas at UCLA proved, and he was the person that is actually America's best ever psychologist in the form of knowing hypnotherapy. He's a master at it. That's who I studied under. Proved that if you're hypnotized by the same therapist with the same type of hypnosis session for the same disorder on 21 separate days within a 30-day period, it is impossible to dream out the hypnotic programming then installed into the subconscious mind. It becomes part of who and what you are. So you walk, talk, think, act, and behave, for instance, like a person who's never smoked. How can you quit something you've never done?
Mhm.
Why would you think about something that never happened? But to make that stick, and it's your belief system, this is what you are, a person who's never smoked. We have to put you in hypnosis on 21 separate days. Well, it's very expensive to go in and do that,
Yeah.
especially at $150 to $300 a crack.
Yeah.
All right. Now, our nonprofit structure is $150 for a 2-hour session.
Yeah.
On cell phone because of COVID.
Yeah.
Okay. Before that, people came into the office for private sessions, and
Yeah.
that money went out to charitable purposes. We buy wheelchairs for people born without legs. We put the children of fallen Marines through college, and I'm actually a prejudiced person. I am a Marine. Remember, we're always a Marine, once a Marine. I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years from 60 to 64. Okay. And another thing we do is we take and we've been feeding up to 20,000 children 3 meals a day that otherwise wouldn't be on the planet right now. So that's what we do with those donations.
Mm-hmm.
There's no payroll at New Life Clinics.
That's great. That's really
Yeah,
great.
we're all kind of financially independent as doctors. We don't need a salary. So we are going out. We do these sessions. We're doing one here, like you said, right here
at
in
the
Kingman.
Social Contact Club.
Yep, it's coming on April 3rd.
Yep.
And we're going to have 2 sessions. It's Saturday, one in the mornings, 9:30, and then there's going to be one in the afternoon. Starts about 3:30. Allow about 2 hours. And do make a reservation.
Yes, and
Do that.
let me
There's
give you
gonna
the phone number right now because we need, seriously.
Yeah, do that,
We have
please.
limited space, and we try to help as much as we can. But this is the first come, first served. 928-263-0071. I'll say again with my British accent. 928-263. Hey, Dave. 0071 928-263-0071. This is Luca Zanna. We are here live from the Social Contact Club with Mr. Zanna and Dr. Dean. Okay, now Mr. Mike is here, of course, and my friend, brother, of course, Dave, that is a great gentleman and also is a great patriot and is also my student for Krav Maga. A lot of great people. Hey, Mr. Gibson just coming in. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Gibson. How are you tonight?
Good.
This is great, guys. Normally I used to do my show from the radio. This is kind of like a salon, like a saloon. I don't know, like my living room.
It's rather informal. I kind of enjoy it.
I like it.
Everybody's relaxed here.
Now,
It's great.
by the way, people out there, listen, call, book, because this is a great opportunity. I was just talking right now with a friend of mine, a lady. She's a nurse, and I was telling her, I met about you, and also how much normally costs something like that. And to come here and have this great first class treatment. Is the doctor, you can say that is a treatment, okay? And for free.
Exactly. There's no charge. And by the way, it's a lot of fun. There will be an intermission, so you're not sitting down for 2 hours. But the point is, we're going to put you in hypnosis twice.
Yes.
The first half is to relieve you of your stress. And believe me, it is fun. It's entertaining.
Yes.
You're aware of everything. You're always in control.
Mhm.
You're completely aware of your environment. You cannot be made to do anything against your will. So we're not going to have you making love to a metal folding chair to entertain the group. But we don't do that.
No.
We'll leave that for the guys in Vegas.
Yes.
All right, which we think are not ethical. All right, but the point is, it's perfectly safe. Look, we've done over 1.5 million people. We've
Yeah.
never been sued. We've never had a complaint.
Wow.
We've never had an attorney general say, you ain't going to do this.
That's amazing.
Yes, it is, because what we do is extremely safe, and we're critical on that, and it's enjoyable. Now, when you come out of a session, I'll guarantee every one of you listening that goes to this session, you'll feel better than you've ever felt in your life right after I bring you out of hypnosis. And it gets better and better in every way, every day. We're going to relieve all your stress. And with COVID, my goodness, it's wonderful. Then the second half is where we're going to get rid of the disorder for what you're coming in for, which is either smoking cessation or weight reduction, or we do both at the same time in a very unique way. When you leave this facility, you'll walk, talk, think, act, and behave like you've never lit up a cigarette in your entire life. And you can look forward to reducing up to 3 clothing sizes in the next 6 weeks, and it will keep coming off thereafter until you like what you see in a mirror. Then maintenance kicks in, so you don't gain it back. Now, that's what we're doing for you. Make the reservation.
928-263-0071. And by the way, I want to thank K-Talks and Mr. Steve Rubin, the owner, because he always gave me all these years, and we had done crazy stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, always legal, always FCC compliance, but I've been wild on the air. I mean, I've been pushing some lines, and Steve Rubin always backed me up every time. And now, of course, this is amazing, to get the opportunity to share such a message that can really benefit the people of this community, okay, of this, for really free. I mean, there is a little donation, suggest donation, $5. It's like, by the way, it goes.
Mojave County asked me to come in. We treated over 350 of their employees,
Mhm.
and the sheriff's department here in Mojave
Yeah.
County. Like I said, we've also done Bullhead,
Yeah.
the Laughlin several times.
Wow.
okay?
And now you can do, regular people that normally don't work for the government. Finally, we give them a chance to have the same opportunity, because normally I
Right.
know you work for, government or organization. That's now, that's great. Taxpayer, they need it too. Honestly, we need it more because we are paying for them, right? Right, Dave? Who is the slave? I mean, us. I mean, who is the boss?
Yeah, that's right.
We're supposed to be the boss. They treat us like slaves. Yeah, that's another story. Now we're talking about hypnosis, but that's true. No, I'm very excited about this. This is very exciting because finally regular people can afford, can have a chance to maybe improve their life. And by the way, this is not just smoking. As you said, we also have this issue of weight. The weight is so big. I'm not a doctor, but you can imagine.
Yeah.
Just think about all the ramifications.
60% of the population is now obese.
Yes.
Okay. Smoking, age 14 on up, 16%. On the adult level, still 21%. It's an addiction. Nicotine is worse than heroin. But
Yeah.
we can overcome it with hypnosis. You won't be crawling the walls.
Yes.
You'll feel really good when we're done. You're going to be comfortable.
Now, another important thing. Let's say, I have some questions here. We're going through indirectly. Somehow you already answered some of these, but let me go through because many people may still have a little bit of, is it really real, this hypnosis? I mean, it's some sort of what? It's officially recognized by science, by the medical board. I mean, first of all, let's start with some questions here. How can you define hypnosis? What is hypnosis?
Hypnosis is an altered state of mind. It is, first of all, a person's in hypnosis 3 or 4 times a day. It's automatic. All right. It's just what you're in an altered state of mind. For instance, have you ever had somebody come up to you and say, hello in there when you're reading a book? You're so deeply in the book, you're not aware of your environment. That's a light state of hypnosis. What we go is thousands of times further in. We actually access your subconscious mind. Both the patient and I go into their subconscious mind. We find the disorder. We desensitize it, eradicate it, remove it, and then replace it with new programming that the patient wants for self-improvement.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do. And that's a process. It's a state-of-the-art process that deals in psychological science, but also it's an art, and that the way you do it has to be acceptable to all people.
Mm-hmm.
And ours is.
Now, is this hypnosis can be dangerous? Probably you already answered.
Well, it's a good question. Hypnosis can be dangerous. For instance, let's say somebody hypnotizes you to be Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And then they say, okay, you're going to be Clark Kent, but when I snap my fingers, you're going to be Superman, and I want you to jump out that window and fly.
Yeah.
Will you do it? No, you cannot be made to do anything against your will. But if it is your will to fly like Superman, you're going to go splat. Okay.
Wow.
So let's put it that way. You can't be made to do anything you would not otherwise do in a conscious state. You're aware of everything.
So pretty much, there is always the consent, of course, of the patient. In this
Yes,
case,
of course.
must be always consent. And there is also a phrase that also is not just a medical phrase or a reality. It also is a legal reality that we found out through the Supreme
Oh,
Court.
I'm glad you brought that up.
All hypnosis is
Well, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis, number one. But number two, the Supreme Court ruled back in the 50s that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. You see, they had a lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to be sued for doing hypnosis, and it says this, that, and the other was done to me hypnotically, and it caused problems. They took it clear to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court had their people and scientists look at it and said, no, the only person that can hypnotize you is you. The problem is you don't know how. And even if you did, you're not good enough to go in with the depth to get rid of serious disorders. So you then use heterohypnosis, and you find a guy like me, preferably a doctor that knows what they're doing, to hypnotize you by guiding you into that source. It's like you're in New York City and you're standing on the corner, and you go over and tap me on the shoulder and you say, sir, can you tell me how to get to 43rd Street? And you say, yeah, walk up 3 blocks this way. And I point the direction and turn left, and there it is. Now, I didn't get you to 43rd Street. You had to walk there to do it. You're actually doing it yourself. I just guided you in. That's what a hypnotherapist does, because most people really aren't objective enough to guide themselves and to relieve themselves of a specific disorder. That's why they need us.
Yes, yes. Another by the way, I have today a couple people, a few people. There's also Mr. Gibson's here, Mrs. Gibson, and of course we got Dave, we got Mike. This is going to be the format of the new show. I don't take any more phone calls because the system. I'm not in the studio. I don't have that type of capability, and I don't want it, honestly. This is going to be for the club. This is for you guys, brothers and sisters who believe in freedom. You support the club. You are part of the show. If you have any questions, would you like to share and ask to Dr. Dean? Just let me know. In a few minutes, I can give you the microphone. I have a few more points to go through. So Dr. Dean will have the chance to answer. This is not in prepared. That's why I want people also in the audience. They may have very nice or real questions. And even if you disagree with me, I welcome you. I really would like to have always your feedback. Or anything. And this today, of course, there is no much to disagree. This is science, okay? But normally in general, when we have political debate stuff, hey, I'm here. I don't have soft skin. Please challenge me. And if you prove me wrong, I'll buy you a coffee. Zanna Coffee, of course. Zanna Coffee, by the way, go to www.zannacoffee.com, the best organic coffee, and start your day with a bang, straight shot espresso. Don't buy Starbucks. They're really a bunch of commies anyway. Okay. All
I had
right.
your coffee the other day, and honestly, I was shocked. It was delicious. It's rich.
You got Scotty. That's not even my favorite.
Oh, I like
Way
it.
that you got next week, I got a new shipment of straight shot espresso. I'm going to bring it next time. Bring me $10. I'll give you a bag. Okay. All right. Seriously, guys, I really support. I thank you for your support. I have people, by the way, they've been buying my coffee through K Talks all these years. And Mr. Mancuso, Jeff Mancuso, if you listen, he comes here to the club, and wow, I have a lot of followers. I really treasure your support. Thank you very much. That's how we found the operations here. It's not like the government. We steal money from you. We ask for money. Different, big difference. Okay. Now, another important thing. Anything should I know before I get hypnotized?
Well, basically, you should be in a position where you can be hypnotized safely.
Mhm.
For instance, you want to be in a chair with the back and arms as a minimum, because you get really sloppy in hypnosis and you can fall out of your chair.
Mm.
You don't want to be listening to a cell phone to be hypnotized on that. You're going to drop your phone, and there goes your $300 phone.
Mhm.
What you want to do ideally, be in a recliner or laying on a bed, have a earbud in your ear that goes right to your cell phone, and then from the cell phone you can get the information from me, and I'm talking to you. I can hypnotize you on cell, or you can listen to CDs, or when you come to the event we're doing here on the 3rd of April, you'll be sitting in a chair. They're all together, so you can't fall out of it. I've never had a client fall out of a chair and hurt themselves. If they do what I tell them to do, we have you put your hands on your thighs and set up your feet flat on the floor. You're okay. But you got to be in a position where you won't fall over. You got to be in a position where it's quiet. We don't want canaries and dogs and cats and radios and TVs and kids screaming and so forth. And you got to be preferably alone. But in a group, it's fine because everybody's there for the same reason. And it's sort of like a camaraderie ship. Everybody comes in with the same problem, and when they walk out without the problem, it's an enormous thing to witness. And
Wow.
I want all of you that's got this problem, I want all of you there. But make a reservation. It's going to pack really quick.
Yes, 928-263-0071. By the way, Doctor, you gave me the privilege to witness one of your, let's say, introduction, let's say, consultation
Yeah.
calls. And this man, for an hour, talking like, of course, he knows because this is his life, but not only talking, how to, because this is not about convincing anyone. It's about educating a person that, didn't know much about it, and maybe had, I'm sure, just understanding from the way you were interacting, some reservations, some doubts, and the fact that how almost like enlightenment comes after it explains to you how it works, because this is not like hocus pocus. There is a science behind, and also there is a human side. It's not just science. There is also the person behind. Try to understand who you are. Everyone is different. We don't have, beside the problems that we have, that we want to work on, we have our different backgrounds. We have our different dramas. And of course, he has limited time to try to understand who you are. But then that's the real skill, in my opinion, of the professional, because he can understand very fast who you are and try to give you also the language that you may be at that point open to experience. And this, by the way, at the end, it's you that benefits. And it's not about the money. It's not about it. Think about it. If you had someone who could say, from now on, you stop smoking, it is not just the money, of course. We're talking about just the tax that you give to the government. I go crazy just for that.
Well, smoking is $8 a pack a day.
And
We did the math on this. It's around $3,100 a year you spend to smoke a package of cigarettes a day.
Yeah.
And if you do that for 20 years, if you'd put that money in the bank and let it just compound at low bank interest, you would have enough money to retire on the rest of your life in dignity.
Yeah.
But no, you smoked it up, you destroyed your health in the process. We will stop that if you make an appointment and get here. By the way, I want everybody that comes in here to donate $5. We got some kids to feed.
Yes.
It's a donation. I ain't going to my pocket. The point is that when you got $5, you know what Freud taught us.
Yes.
If you haven't got, if it doesn't hurt, it doesn't work. In other words, you don't have skin in the game, you're not going to pay attention. Amazing what that $5 does when you part with that $5, man. You're glued to me and you're getting it, and then you're going to get the hypnosis, you're going to get the programming you need, and you're going to walk out of here a very happy, delighted person. Would you be willing to spend $5 to get rid of a habit that's costing you $3,000 a year? Would you be willing to spend $5 to get your staff out of a state of obesity to being extremely trim and attractive and healthier? That's what we're talking about. And would you donate that $5 so we can buy 10 nourishing meals for a hungry kid?
That's amazing. That's really great. I'm really pleased. I'm so excited to be part, at least to share the venues, the social contact club. By the way, for that moment, for that event, we're open to the public because this is a public event.
That's right.
Okay, so you don't need to be a member. Of course,
No children, of
no,
course.
no children. Now,
Adults.
that's going to be the next question. Who can come here? And most important, who can be hypnotized? Let's start first of all. Who can come here? If you're a jerk, I don't want you here. Number one. Okay? That's my job. I can spot you. I'll kick the ass out of you here. It's not that problem. Number two, of course, children, please. As much as I love children, this is not place for children. If you have your animal or pets, whatever, don't bring pets. There's no place for animals here. Okay. I love cats. I love dogs, but not here, please. Now, we ask you just some basic decor. Don't come here, without shower. At least shower up because we're going to be a lot of people around, please. And at that point, the professional question is, who can be hypnotized? But more important, who cannot be?
All right, I'm glad you covered that. First of all, I want this very clear. A lot of people have the misconception that to be hypnotized, you're gullible and you're stupid. It's just the exact opposite. The truth is, the brighter you are, the more smarter you are, the more intelligent you are, the more susceptible you are to hypnosis. Bright people do really well with hypnosis. However, people who are mentally challenged, if we gave you a Stanford Binet intelligence test, an IQ test, and you scored 50 or below, in old-fashioned Freudian terms, that would have been classified as a moron. All right, we don't have that problem because generally they won't go to our sessions. But the point is, if you're bright, it means you can pay attention to the therapist and follow what he's asking you to do, and then it works for you. But if you can't stay and pay attention, if you're fogging out somewhere and you don't understand what I'm saying, obviously it's not going to work. Because hypnosis is an audio science. You don't have to see the therapist, but you do have to hear them. That's why we can ask you to close your eyes during the group session. Nobody can see you and you can't see them. You feel privacy, but everybody hears me saying the same thing. And that way it's audio. And that's how we can do it on CDs, cell phones, and online, and obviously in group sessions. It is something you hear that makes you go into hypnosis. You don't go under, you go into hypnosis. There's a difference.
Very good. And another important question I have, there are some people, of course, that probably they should not be hypnotized, or at least tell me some.
Okay, but the people that should not be hypnotized are people who have certain psychopathological disorders. All right, people who are mentally challenged or even legally insane cannot be hypnotized. Other people that can't be hypnotized is the exact opposite. I just told you people with extremely low IQ cannot be hypnotized. But there's the opposite. You can be too intelligent. You see, these people are classified for people that are really bright. What they do is they start to analyze. They can't help it. They're the people that, before they'll sign the paper, they'll read the fine print. They'll go to Consumer's Guide to pick out their toaster. And so they're always analyzing me and the therapy. And as long as you're in a state of analysis, you will not go into hypnosis. But on the other hand, if you simply go with the flow, go with the suggestions, and when I give you a suggestion, for heaven's sakes, do it your way, but do carry it out. And when you carry out each of my suggestions and directions, when you're sitting there in the chair in the group session, you'll automatically go into hypnosis because you have average intelligence or higher. But when it's too high and you're trying to figure it out, you're not going to go into hypnosis. And I suggest you go get your PhD if you want to figure it out, because you ain't going to figure it out watching me.
All right. Listen, Dave, Mike, do you have any questions for Dr. Dean?
I have
One second only. If you want a question, come here, please.
Sure.
1 second. We have a microphone. We still. Okay, I'll give you the microphone now. And we go. Don't pull it too much. Here we go.
Doctor, what I'd like to ask you is, I've had weight problems all my life, but I've been active. I've run. I'm in Kamaga. I weightlift. I've done everything, but I've always been up and down with my weight. So how can you keep me, because I have a problem eating naturally, or I wouldn't gain weight, but to keep me, my stomach would bother me if I cut out.
Okay, two things. Let's get this straight. You drink a glass of milk, it's 100 calories. You eat an apple, it's 100 calories. If you walk for 30 minutes, you burned only 100 calories. Now, what would you rather do? Give up the apple or go for the walk? See, That's the first thing. Exercise is not the answer for weight loss. It is the answer for good health, for muscle toning, bone strength, and so forth, and nerves. What is important is that you eat 5 times a day, 3 squares and 2 snacks. So you're not going to ever be hungry. Now follow me on this. This is what we do in our groups. And look, when you've done it to tens of thousands of people, and you ought to see the mail we get and the endorsements. You're going to take and eat anything that will grow out of the ground, off a bush, a vine, or tree. You will eat all you want, all the comfort food you want. And if you must eat meat, it's going to be fish and chicken, and it must be freshwater, organic. It's that simple. We don't want any other things in you. If you eat in that manner, all you want, 5 times a day, what happens is it destroys your appetite. Now, let me get you clear. Let's say you eat an apple this morning for breakfast. Now, obviously, you've used all your food from the night before. You're empty. You have an apple in the morning. Okay? It's going to take 4 hours to digest that apple. That's a fact. All right? Now, after 4 hours, you're going to start getting hungry. The acid in your stomach's there. There's nothing there's no food to absorb it. And it says, hey, methane gas starts going off. It starts to growl. You get hungry. You start to get low blood sugar. You get weak and shaky. You want some food. All right. Well, what would happen if I gave you an apple every 3 hours you're awake? Even though it takes 4 hours to use it up, I'm giving you one every 3 hours. You're going to be a constant state of digestion. You have a constant flow of glucose sugar coming into your body, feeding your cells, shuts down the appetite in your brain and says, I got plenty of sugar. I got plenty of fuel in my body now. So you have no appetite. And I give you that apple 5 times a day. You'll never be hungry. Now, we're going to let you eat what you want and the comfort food you want, but the rule is simple. We don't use calories and a cup of this and a teaspoon of that. That's a nonsense. You'll eat until you don't feel anything. That's the rule. You listen to your stomach. You're neither full, but on the other hand, you're not hungry. When you get to the point you don't feel anything, you throw your napkin over your food, get up and leave the kitchen. Come back, clean up later.
Here we go. Thank you, doctor. And by the way, another important way, come to the event and be part of it. This is perfect. It's not just for smokers, also for people who want to try to, I don't like the word try.
The smokers, if you're coming, have one before you come in, and then during the break, go out and have another one, say goodbye to it. It'll be the last one you'll ever smoke.
Perfect. And for people who want to improve their weight, this is also your opportunity. I have Mr. Mike here. Go ahead, Mike.
Doctor, I want to, I see you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My question to you is, and we're going to change this just a little bit.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of diet and smoking.
Yeah.
Let's just say, for instance, we're talking about budgets or trying to self-improvement, trying to do your finances.
Do better with money.
Better.
Yeah.
Not so lazy, not so,
Yeah.
spendthrift.
Mhm.
When you're teaching or suggesting something, is it possible that the suggestion will help instead of saying to somebody, you need to do this, you need to write a budget every day?
No, we don't do that.
That the suggestion.
No, we don't do that. We look at the big picture because that's what works. I'm going to give you a quickie. If you look at the size of your hand, that would be an analogy to the size of your conscious mind. Your conscious mind, your thinker. It's logic. It's what makes 2 and 2 come up with 4. Now look at the size of the room you're in. That's your subconscious mind, a lot bigger than your hand. And in that subconscious mind, you've got programming that causes you to procrastinate and put off and not do the rules of what you know you should be doing to get your finances, get your house in order. Those programs got put into your subconscious mind quite by accident. And it was probably done when you're quite young. And that programming in your subconscious mind is going to cause the way you're going to behave. And you're banging your head against a wall if you try to do otherwise. How many times have you tried to straighten this issue up? And what did you do? You pushed it aside, put it away. You didn't stay with it. And you got a problem again. Right. All right. That's because the program says that's the way you're supposed to behave. Now, what would happen if we could access this? You and I, shoulder to shoulder, like brothers, going into your subconscious mind. You're in a state of hypnosis. With your permission, we are going to go in there together. We find those programs, and boy, are they evident. And then I gently extract them, desensitize them, where they have no further power over you. Then we put in new programs that says, you're really an ace, a crackerjack ace when it comes to finances. You're on top of it right now. And that program then starts to work immediately after I brought you out of hypnosis. That's how it works. It's really simple. It is a state of the art.
It's great. And it's really great. At least the more I read, the more I study on myself, the humble things I've been practicing on myself. It is incredible. That's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to bring it here. That's why.
Should we give them the the eye closure test online. That's legal. We can do that. You want to do
You're
it?
the doctor. You can.
It's now, listen.
Go
First of
ahead.
all, do not do this if you're driving a car.
Yeah.
You must be at home where it's safe and you're coming. I'm going to give you all an eye lock test so you can prove to yourself you're hypnotized. Well, by the way, that's a compliment. That means you're smart, you're intelligent. It's real simple. Now, what I want y'all to do
Mm-hmm.
is to simply close your eyes. That's easy. You just close them very comfortably. Now, I want you to close them a little bit more firmly, not too tight, but just where they're firm. Now, what I want you to do is to follow my directions and suggestions and carry them out your way, because your way is the best way for you. What I want you to do is to pretend, perhaps like you did as a child. Use your imagination the way you like to. I want you now to pretend that your eyes are locked shut. They simply are completely shut, closed tightly, locked shut. In fact, they're really locked up. In fact, the more you try to open them, the more locked up they seem to become. You may try to open them while you're pretending they're locked at the same time. And as long as you keep pretending they're shut and locked up, they cannot and will not open. Give it a try, and you'll see how powerful your subconscious mind is. You'll notice they won't open. You'll feel resistance right now. All right, now I'm going to take and clap my hands 3 times. You may then open your eyes, and I want you to be very relaxed and very happy. 1, 2, 3. Gentlemen, what happened to you?
Well, I felt like that.
One second,
Could
one
you
second.
feel the resistance? You locked up?
Yes, I felt my eyes lids get harder and harder,
Right.
and I didn't try to open them though, but I could feel it. And
How
then-
about you, sir?
You know, I'm paying attention to what the words are, so I'm doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's what made that
Locked them up.
possible.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
So you see, that's the power of suggestion, which we put a program in the subconscious mind, the eyes wouldn't open. And if they try to, they're just pulling their face apart, trying to open them. It's rather amusing, actually. But it shows you the power of that mind. That's a simple little test. You can do it to anybody. It's harmless. All right. We also, when you come to the session, are going to do a finger closing test that will cause your fingers to touch together. It's really kind of weird. It feels like somebody else is doing it. It's really your subconscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll lock up and you can't pull your fingers apart until I clap my hands. Oh, sure. It's definitely, yeah. I do it now, but something you have to see. So you have to come to the session and I have to show you how to do it by seeing it. All right. But we'll do a few tests so that the people coming in, they're comfortable. Think, oh, yes, it does work. And then they're relaxed. They're definitely going to get what they came here for. Nobody leaves disappointed. Nobody.
Ladies and gentlemen, listeners from around the world, not just from, K-Talks listeners, of course, Mojave County area here, Bullhead, Kingman, and the Golden Valley, Lake Havas, Fort Mojave, Laughlin, Needles, of course, but also from the internet from around the world. It is really a pleasure to be back here on the air and also on the internet, sharing such great information. As I said, when I learned about hypnosis, for me was almost like the best hidden secret for humanity. Because I think about how much potential every one of us has. And sometimes we don't have the resources to be able to exploit it, to bring it out. I mean, you could be a best writer, you could be the best father, the best human being you can be, just because you have some, as you said, doctor, things in your past life or maybe your life experience that somehow created wrong programs about you, and you cannot fulfill their potential. This is, for me, something that has been amazing. That's why when we come to the Social Contact Club show, yeah, you will hear me bitching about it, screaming about it, complaining about it. But at the end, I want to find solutions. And the first solution is the individual. I believe in individuals' rights. I believe in individual, like a potential, the solution of the problem. All starts with one. You don't need the mob to spread the truth. One person can speak up. If that person has no more the fears to even face the mob, to face the rest of the society, can make the difference, can lead by example. And hypnosis can be also used in this situation. That's why I'm so humble and honored to have this opportunity to learn, at the same time to hear and to share with you guys, listeners, to come here to the event. We're almost at the end. I have to close in 2 minutes. I want to just say we have 60 seconds for you, doctor, before I get back. Go ahead, whatever you want to say.
Well, one thing you're going to experience at the session, especially in the second half of the session, there's a third mind. Remember, we talked about conscious and subconscious. You have a third mind. That's the size of your city. And that third mind, most people don't know they have. It's your spiritual mind. Okay, it's the foundation and basis of who and what you really are and where from you really come. Well, someday you're going to leave your body. We all do, because it's on loan to us to learn what we have to learn here. Your mind matrix, your personality, everything that makes you who you are survives. And when you understand that and actually feel it and see it in this session. We're not going into religion here. That's not what we do. Go to the church you go to, stay with it. It's great. But we do look at that spiritual mind, which if there's a problem in it, you'll recognize it and you can fix it. But we're going to bring it to your attention so you can fix it. Sometimes you try this and try that. You can't quit smoking. You can't lose weight. The spiritual level is just, you're on that gray side. We're going to get you into some sunshine. We're going to open that up and let you see what's going on, and then you can fix it, and we'll help you. All right. So that's what we do at the very end. And everybody they don't walk out of here. They
Wow.
float out of here.
That's amazing. This is been a pleasure. My name is Luca Zanna with special guest Dr. Dean, and of course our friends here, Mr. Dave, Mr. Mike, and just what I can say, I will talk about this more next Sunday, of course. But don't forget, April the 3rd, the great event, the free hypnosis session to reduce your weight, to quit smoking, improving your life, and it's free. What can I tell you more? Okay. God bless. God willing, I will talk to you next Sunday. This has been a pleasure. And that's it. K-Talks, I love you guys. Great job. Thank you for sharing the message of freedom. This has been Luca Zanna here from the Social Contact Club. See you next Sunday. That's it.
Cue the music.